Good morning, readers. Well, today is the day that you and I have been waiting for. It is release day for Fur and Fury, the next book in the Reg Rawlins Psychic Investigator series. So if you have just finished Spellbound Statues, you'll know that everything is not well in Black Sands, and they're about to get worse. Fur and Fury is perfect for fans of paranormal mysteries who love strong characters navigating complex relationships against a backdrop of magical intrigue. Candy says, I love this series. This book is another great addition. I love these magical characters. And Kim says, I love following Reg on her escapades, as they're always exciting and full of twists I've never seen coming. With treachery and deceit on both sides, Reg certainly has her hands full. P.D. Workman has proven to be a prolific author with boundless imagination and a bounty of whimsy that is sure to entertain any fan of paranormal cozies. I shall anxiously anticipate the next incredible adventure. Thank you, Candy and Kim. Looking for paranormal tropes such as rival factions, the reluctant heroine, action-packed quest, and betrayal and deceit. This book has it all. Okay, I'm going to try something a little bit different for my reading for this release. I'm going to go through and read a few short excerpts instead of doing a full reading of chapter one, and you can see if anything here grabs you. Fenris was wandering off, attracted by the window display of Witchell's toys. Fenris, Zora barked, come back. He looked over his shoulder at her. She knew from the expression on his face, and of course by his personality, which she knew well, that he would not comply. Of all her children, he was the least compliant, always off on his own, doing his own thing, sniffing around danger. At some point, it would bring him a face full of skunk scent or porcupine quills, or worse. But he was the cub that always had to see for himself. He always had to test the limits and see whether what she said was really true. He would make a good leader one day, if he lived that long. Marigold giggled. She used to sneak out so we could go together, she confided. My mom said she was a bad influence, and she should stay at the rest home and be a good example of how mature people should behave. But that would have been so boring. I loved it when she'd show up in the middle of the night, tapping at my window, ready to go out on an adventure. That's how a mature person should behave, Clarice declared. Never get too old to surprise people, and enjoy time with the ones you love, even if it's in the middle of the night. Maybe it is just a fairy tale, Rich agreed. But it wouldn't hurt to come along with us, would it? I'm supposed to be watching for trouble, guarding the perimeter. Then you should probably come with us to make sure we don't get into any trouble. If you just let us through and don't come with us, who knows what trouble we could get into? Humans are like puppies, Zora agreed dryly, always getting into everything. They can never be trusted to behave themselves. But that man deserved to be bitten, Fenris finished. Maybe I should not have done it, but he deserved it. Reg had to agree. She looked at Zora, suppressing a smile. We can't go around biting everyone who deserves it, Zora told him. I know, Fenris agreed. He looked down at the ground as he took another bite of his pepperoni. That would be a lot of people. Reg had difficulty not laughing, even though she knew it was a very serious topic. Fenris was right. There were a lot of people who deserved to be bitten. Do you think I've forgotten whose fault that is? John demanded. I haven't forgotten how you took her from me. I won't ever forget that. That had not been Reg's fault. Amber had just been doing what came naturally to him, protecting a family member from being hurt. It hadn't been Reg's choice or intention to incinerate Verity. Sometimes these things just happen. Reg passed everyone else until she was the first person behind Theodore. She knew she would lag behind them all before it was too late. She would start in a position of strength, and she would succeed. They would find the Oathstone. They would succeed. They would successfully meet all the challenges. They would bring the Oathstone back, and they would be able to end the conflict between the warlocks and the wolves. That was, after all, what the stone was for. They would succeed, maybe. Either that or fail miserably. Corbin and Davin sat staring at each other for a long time. Aleph stirred, growling in the back of his throat. Humans think too much. What is there to think about? Reg agreed, speaking to Corbin. If it doesn't work and we still can't reverse the spell, then you can give up, and Davin can take over as the leader of the coven, if there is any coven left. By the time you decide, there might not be. Ember approached the next warlock, who brandished a staff and shot volleys of magical defense against Ember, staunchly believing he could overcome the dragon with his weak efforts. Ember plucked the staff out of the warlock's hands and held it in his claws, examining it. He eventually put it into his mouth, crunched it like a large pretzel stick, and belched fire at its hapless owner, who stood fast for another 2 seconds, then turned tail and ran. There wasn't much more for Ember to do. He chased after a few more warlocks, as playful as a cat full of kibble, then eventually trotted back to Reg. You see, even now she won't let you be free. She can't do anything on her own, so now she wants you to do her bidding. I'll bet you didn't even want to take over the world. You probably just wanted to be an accountant or something like that. Fur and Fury is a great supernatural mystery and adventure that can be read as a standalone novel. So even if you haven't read anything else in the series, you can enjoy Reg's new adventure trying to figure out how to solve the problem between the warlocks and the werewolves. If you haven't read the series or if you have fallen behind, then I've got a few deals for you to follow up on. One, you can get What the Cat Knew, the first book in the Reg Rawlins series. You can get the ebook for 99 cents for a limited time. If you have fallen behind, you can get these three books, Tainted Truffle Treachery, Sleepwalker's Sanctuary, and Lunar Lies. You can get all three of those in one ebook bundle. Those are books 19 through 21. So you save quite a bit of money by doing that. Or the best deal, you can get books numbered 1 through 21 all in one bundle, and that will save you about 50% and give you lots of stuff to read for the next little while. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that introduction to Fur and Fury. All that's left is for you to go out and buy it. You can get it at my e-store at shop.pdworkman.com or any of the online retailers. And sit down, grab a cup of hot chocolate, and enjoy.